So this is going to be a convoluted answer to that, but it's an answer nonetheless. When I was growing up, I grew up in a generation of Chinese Americans that was really, really focused on merging with American culture. You know, don't stand out, try to blend, be sure that you fit in so that you'll succeed in American culture. And that meant things like not learning Chinese. My parents spoke it, but they wouldn't speak it around me. They wanted me to speak English. They wanted me to blend. And I'm sorry for that. I would love to have been bilingual. I'm also sorry that I missed out on a lot of Chinese culture. I grew up becoming an Anglophile, and I should have grown up as a Sinophile who was also an Anglophile. However, I've made up for that. You know, I embrace Chinese culture, and I embrace Western culture, and I see the value of both. I really do. And I love the fact that I can claim both cultures. Now, I will admit that when I went back to China and visited Beijing, Shanghai, Suzhou, I wasn't really perceived as Chinese. They really perceived me as a Westerner in many ways. And that serves to reason. That's how I was raised. That's how I, was groomed to be a Westerner. So I love that experience of seeing Chinese culture firsthand. And if I were to put these sort of positives into one column and then the negatives into another column, I'd start with the positives, such as industriousness, value of hard work, and the ability to persevere. You know, the Chinese revere the rat. It's one of the Chinese astrology symbols. They revere this animal because it's pretty much going to be the one thing that survives when the rest of us are gone. And so there's a lot to be said about that kind of wherewithal. And the Chinese have that. Maybe on the negative side is that there is a dismissiveness toward many things that I find important. For instance, protecting our environment or protecting public safety. And I remember an environment example occurring while I was visiting. I was told by the interpreter that there was a small town in rural China, just outside of where we were visiting. I don't remember the town, but I was told that the officials actually had the countryside spray painted green to make the mountains look green in preparation for some officials that were visiting from out of state. How amazing is that? Let's just spray paint the side of the mountain. So that might go in the negative column for me.